just I am sending a simple welcome message to the client, which will say welcome to Servlet example. After creating output stream and after making use of the output stream, finally what we have to do is we have to close the output stream object. Sorry, output dot out dot close. That's it. After the all, save the file. Here it is displaying some error message. Method or undefined. Let us okay. Delete that one. Finally save the file. So this is the just simple servlet application we have developed. Let us open this web.xml file and view the content of this web.xml file. In order to open this web.xml file, simply give a double click. Let us maximize this file. Let's go to this source section, and here you can find a servlet different XML tags that were written for us by this Eclipse IDE automatically, depending upon the configuration we have given while creating a servlet using those screens. If you don't use this Eclipse IDE, you have to write all these tags manually. So the main use of this Eclipse IDE is it avoids whatever the common work, and it takes Eclipse IDE takes care of that. Now let me describe these tags written by this Eclipse IDE. Forget about this welcome file list. As a starter, you don't need to know much more about these things. We can learn in coming tutorials. Here you can find a tag. Sorry. Here you can find a servlet tag here, which represents or which allows us to define some servlet, and this servlet tags only tells to the Tomcat container, hey Tomcat container, this guy is defining a servlet information in the following tabs. So in the following tags, so you can read information from those tags so that you can get some information about a servlet, which servlet you have to execute when a client sends a request for it. When a client sends a request, so all this information is available in the following tags. So this is the this servlet tag is the main root tag, and inside this servlet main root tag you can have a child tag, display name, and description. As we have not written any description in the servlet creation screens, that's why it is displayed as empty. So here you can write some description about your servlet, what it will do, and how when it was created. Some kind of description about your servlet you can write by using this tag. It is not required, it is an optional tag. Let us delete that one. So save the file. Here Display name, this is also an optional tag. You don't need to concentrate much on this. The main tags after those two is here servlet name and servlet class. These are the mandatory tags. Here servlet name tags is meant for giving some nickname to your servlet class. For maintaining security, we are giving here some nickname to our servlet. We can describe more in detail about the security of a servlet and how Java is secure in coming tutorials. Just for knowledge's sake, you can understand as of now, as a starter, the meaning of this servlet name is some nickname you are giving to your servlet class or servlet object, some nickname or alias name you are giving. So you can represent that name or alias name or nickname in few in coming tutorials. What is the need of that one? Here you can see the tag with the servlet class. Here this tag will tell to the Tomcat container which servlet class you have to load when a client sends a request to a particular servlet. So here you can see org.servlet.hello world. Up to this part it is a package name, and this is the only name we have given for servlet while creating servlet in the previous screens. So what does it mean? We have to give the fully qualified name of our servlet for this servlet class, end of this servlet tag. And here you can find a tag with servlet mapping. Here you are mapping your servlet tag. What is the main use of this one? Here you can find a tag with the servlet name, and whatever the tag you have used inside this servlet, you are also, and the same tag you are using here. So what is this servlet name and why we are using this inside both servlet tag and servlet mapping tag? Here you are configuring this nickname to this servlet class, and here your URL pattern. This URL pattern we use for running a servlet from the client side. We just give this URL pattern only to the client to call a particular servlet or to execute a particular servlet, or for requesting for a particular resource. So when this hello world application, I mean when the client types hello world URL pattern at the client side, what will happen is the servlet container looks for this servlet name with this nickname hello world, and it will simply goes to this particular place servlet tag. Here you can find the same nickname what we have given in under this servlet mapping tag, and it will call the respective servlet class. Simply it will loads the respective servlet class, and depending upon the type of request we have sent from client side, it will call the respective do get or do post or some do xx methods. We can look all those details in more detail uh, in diagrammatic representation in coming tutorial. As of now, this is the configuration you have to write inside this web.xml file. Why we need this web.xml file here is when we are deploying an application to a web server, here in our case Tomcat, we have to give some details about our application to the Tomcat server. Otherwise, how the Tomcat server will know information about our application? So that's why we have to give some details about our application. So that is why we are making use of this XML file, that is web.xml file. So inside this web.xml file, we write code what resources we are using as part of our application development, what are the servlets we are using and how we are representing them, and what are the JSPs or HTML files, or everything we configure inside this web.xml file. Inside this web.xml file, and when we deploy this application to any web server, automatically the respective concerned web server will read information from this web.xml file. So it will know the details about our application. That is why we need this web.xml file, and as part of this application, in this example, we are using only one servlet, and we have given details about our servlet by using this following configuration. Now the next step is, after writing a servlet application, we have to deploy this application to Tomcat server. As we have configured already the Tomcat server with this Eclipse IDE, we are simply now deploying this application to the Tomcat server. In order to deploy this Tomcat server, what we have to do is in order to deploy this application, what we have to do is we have to select this application and give a right click, and you can find an option with this run as. Here you can find run on server. You have to select this menu item, run on server option, because all web applications runs on a server. That's why we have to select this option. Click on this run on server. Here you can find to which web server you would like to deploy your application, to which web server you would like to send this application. It is asking here. You can find two different web servers. In this example, I am deploying the web application we just developed to Tomcat. That's why I have selected that one, and click on this next button. Here you can see configured hello world, and simply click on finish. Let us maximize this console window. Here you can see some console some logging information that is displayed to the console window after running this Tomcat server. So the last statement what we are seeing now is indicating us that Tomcat server was started successfully, and it has taken these many number of milliseconds to start up the server. And let us minimize this and see the web browser. Let us maximize this web browser view, and here you can see hello world. Just that's it. Here you can find the address. Let me explain about this address inside this address bar. Here you can see HTTP protocol followed by 2 slashes and localhost. Here this localhost represents the web server, the respective web server, means where the web server is running, on which machine this web server is running. Because it is running on my local machine itself, that's why I am representing that with the help of this localhost keyword. And the server port number where our web server is running, at what port it is running. I changed my Tomcat port number to 8000. By default it runs at 8080, and on my system I have Oracle database as well, and both Oracle and Tomcat web server use the same port number 80880. That's why in order to run both applications at same time and to avoid port number collision, I have changed my Tomcat port number, and followed by the context path of our application. Here the context path refers to the project name what we have given while creating project in this Eclipse, that is hello world here, followed by the URL pattern what we have given for our servlet inside this web.xml file. Let's go to this web.xml file, and here you can find URL pattern tag under this servlet mapping tag. So we have given some value to this URL pattern tag. Whatever the URL pattern you have given, simply select that one and copy this